How are you?
Morning. Great. And you?
Any special celebration after you got your first outdoor win?
Which everybody loves to keep reminding you about. Oh my God.
Yeah, there were some good questions there.
So your thank you was the best.
Yeah,
That was
thank you.
really nice of you.
No, it was a really good team win. Forget about personal stuff. That was a great team win, and our guys fought really hard for it. So it was good. We got to turn the page and get ready for tonight because we're going to be in a good one.
When you think about what the power play was able to do, I know it's an extra attacker, but just how encouraging is it to see it get back going, and how important will it be to ramp up before the playoffs?
Well, I mean, it happened at a really big time inside the game. You know, to get to score goals like that, we needed that. Certainly in that instant, that's circumstances, and at that point in time, I thought it was really important. And we'd like to try and build off of that if we could. Long way to the playoffs, but I know that as you move down the end of the season, you want things to be firing and executing the right way, and that was a good start the other night.
Do you think the urgency of that moment helped them just kind of maybe simplify?
There was definitely some urgency to, a lot of there's skilled players. There was urgency to puck recovery. There was urgency to turn. When they were firing, they were recovering. They were in the battles. They were winning them, and they were moving pucks quickly and finding open players and moving for each other. There was definitely some pop to it, and that we harped on that. Yeah.
What is the challenge when you have such an emotional weekend and now you have to get back at it against facing a team like that?
Yeah, I mean, this is a top team in the league. They have been the entire year. Good goaltending, good defense, and good forwards, well coached. And so they're a complete team. We're going to have to find our game and execute for 60 minutes. It's they've been on top for most of the year for a reason, and that's because they're playing the game well.
You've been high on Will Cuylle since training camp.
Yep.
He's beyond 50 games now, and it's a rookie, and it could come a point where the game tails a little bit because of that. Right, first year doesn't seem his. Is it his style of play that's allowing that, and is even a part of that too? Where he's living, with an NHL veteran who knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he seems like a real mature kid, younger and rookie, but he seems mature. And I think Troch is a really good person to hang your hat next to and spend time with. And you're with somebody all the time who's a really good professional in Trocheck. I think is a real good leader and a real good veteran player. And so he's got somebody that's giving him some guidance along the way. I think he's done a good job of just being consistent with his game, and he's been good offensively. He's been good and quiet defensively. There hasn't been a lot that's popped up with him. I've said that a few times, that he's pretty smart playing the game, and he's throughout the year he's been a fairly consistent player for us. And so I don't have a crystal ball for the next 30 games, 28 games, whatever it is. But I would like to see him just continue to be consistent, continue to gain experience, continue to try to get better every day, and continue to work on his game.
Ryan Lindgren looks like he's ready to go, said he's ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw him after the game, but he said
Yeah.
his eye was swollen shut. But you've seen him do this time and time again. Has any of it ever surprised you when he's able to come back as quickly as he does?
Not really. Not when you get to know a player and their makeup and their DNA and what's inside of that person and what makes them tick. He's a warrior out there. Everybody knows that. We're still gonna have him be seen before he gets in the game tonight, but he certainly looked good out there, and it was all positive today.
Are you also kind of looking forward to getting a real look at Matt Rempe in a regular game under regular circumstances? Because it's probably hard to analyze a player.
I actually thought, obviously he had a big opening shift, but I actually thought that his line put it into the offensive zone, and they did some good things. I understand that the minutes and the way I coached the game in the third period didn't necessarily set up for Matt. That's not on him.
No.
That's on me, and the fact that we were chasing a multiple goal lead, trying to win a hockey game, and you just keep putting those guys out, the power plays that presented itself. And so it got to a point where we're double shifting some players and just moving it around. So, you're right, he would like to get in a little bit more of a rhythm and roll. Maybe for him too, that would help as well, but I do think that the shifts that line got, they were noticeable. I thought Eddie played a good game. I thought Matt played a good game. Goody was physical. They were a good line.
You've been pretty aggressive all year in pulling the goalie. And I'm wondering, is there a point where you looked at analytics and you said, oh, okay, this is the odds are with me if I do it here, but later, or is it just a feel thing for you?
That was, I do look at analytics, Larry, but that was a feel thing for me. I just kept looking at the clock and the score, and knowing that the players that we would want on the ice at that moment, I didn't want to use them and then without the extra attacker, and then have them come off and then put out another group with the extra attacker. I wanted the extra attacker with those players. And then, I think it was a little bit less than 2 minutes, but just for numbers' sake, just say if it's 2 minutes and we're at 550 or 548, whatever the clock said, if you take the 2 minutes off and you're not successful, you need 2 goals in 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes and 40 seconds, 3.5 minutes by the time the next group gets out there. And so for me, that was the point of the game, that it needed the extra attacker to make sure that we gave ourselves the best chances. I said it after the game, a 4-on-3 for me is a little bit tougher of a power play. People standing in shot lanes, and it's not as, but the 5-on-3 can be really effective because of the angles that open up on the power play. And so for me, it was worth the risk. I understand it was a risk, but it was worth the risk at that point in the game to get the 5th guy out there versus 3 players. I don't know if I've done it before. I don't know if I've had the opportunity to do it before, but it just seemed like the right thing to do at the right time. So to answer your question, it was probably more gut than anything.
Wanted to ask you about Kako. He's got a 4-game point streak
Yeah.
now. You talked about the line, and I know they've been good, but
Yeah.
him specifically.
I think this is the best he's looked. He's moving his feet, he's creating, he's playing with some attitude and some edge out there. The line has been good, but I think he's a big part of driving that line. And so I think, his game, since he's been back, he just seems to be getting, from the injury, he seems to be getting stronger and stronger inside of his game.
Easily he could have been a guy who moved up instead of Jimmy to play in that spot that Blake vacated. Is it because of the line and how he's playing?
It was a little bit of the line and where they were at, and the fact that I thought that line was playing good. I think I popped Jimmy up there when Blake went out. I popped Jimmy up there, and they went right away into the offensive zone. They might have scored maybe on their first or second shift together. And then going back, and you look at the analytics and the numbers from the previous year, you look at the time and the numbers and what they're doing, what they're producing on the ice when they were together this year, and that left me to leave the line alone and to leave it in that situation. Johnny's line was producing and doing the things we wanted to do. When Jimmy spent time with Mika and Kreids, they were doing the things that we wanted to do. It got to a point in the game, again, where we were looking for just a little bit more, and we're going to shorten the bench, and that was an opportunity. And I wanted to also make sure that there was a real solid defensive line in play, but it was a chance to start to double up Breads, double up Lapp, give Troch an extra shift here and there, and move people up with Mika.
Okay, thank you
Who's your
guys.
forward there?
Shesties in net.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.